welcome to Q&A Corner. We've got Dmitry with us today. He is going to be telling you a little bit about himself in just a minute. But if you've got any questions for Dmitry as you are coming on the call, feel free to throw them in the comments below. Send us a like or a wave or anything. But I'm going to turn it over to you, Dmitry. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you fit in the tech world.
And now my headset stopped working. Just a second, sorry.
No worries. All right, so it looks like Dmitry's having a couple of difficulties there, but that's okay. If you're just coming in and you want to check things out, feel free to throw us a comment in the comment section below. If you've got any questions for Dmitry, there's also like a comment feature at the very, very bottom, or a question feature at the very, very bottom. So yeah, I guess over to you, Dmitry. Tell us about yourself.
It's like we don't have many people.
That's all right. I'm going to record this and upload it afterwards. So yeah. This is pretty standard.
Yeah. I see the Anna who is joined. She used to live on Vancouver Island and then she moved back to Russia.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, maybe we can show how is it currently on Vancouver Island. So the weather is nice. So no snow. And it's lots of cherry trees. Yeah, so it's really good time to be here, especially during pandemic.
Yeah, there's far worse places to be than here, hey?
Yes.
Awesome.
So
Dmitry, who are you?
Tell a bit about my job, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I work with Amazon for 4 years, and I used to work and continue to work as a data engineer. So the data engineer is the person who orchestrates the data pipeline. And I treat the data as something that I can bring from different sources and consolidate in single place in order to provide data to business people, mostly for the business people, and it could be the product managers, finance managers, marketing managers. Everyone needs data. So there are lots of SD works in Amazon who build different pipelines. They build different applications that basically interact with the customers. And every interaction with the customers trades data. So, and Amazon is a data-driven company. It collects all data points across all services, and Alexa too. So it has different metrics and that it's collecting. Oh, it's Alexa speaking now. Thank you, Alexa. Okay. So basically, as a data engineer, I work close with different teams, technical and business teams. And I work closely with software developer engineers who are building applications and building the data interfaces that I can connect and grab the data, and then I can consolidate all data together into a single place. As a result, we can find some insights, and to make decisions, you need data, right? And so this is the case. So I'm a kind of the bridge between all technical applications and the data points and the business. So I need to build this bridge. I need to automate this. I need to scale this because we have big data sets. And the data not structure, often it's semi-structure. That's why I need to work with different types of data. And there are lots of use cases related to machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence, that people who is focusing on those tasks, like data scientists, machine learning engineer, they're really good with math, statistics, they know how to build a model, but the challenge here, how to scale your model, how to promote it to the production environment, to apply the changes, how to test this. And again, with my skill set, I'm helping those people. So you can think about it as like I'm the person who works with different teams, and my focus is specifically data pipelines, data flows. I'm thinking about architecture of the solution. I'm building data platform, all those things. If we talk particularly about Alexa team, so my team based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So I didn't know that before, and I heard about Boston a lot, but I didn't know that Cambridge and Boston, it's actually like together split with the river. So the Alexa team is based in Cambridge, but it's 5 minutes from the Boston. You just cross the bridge. And I think they have their resources, it's kind of science researchers, because there is MIT, Harvard, so they have lots of PhD folks who specifically work on NLP problems, or they call it NLU, natural language understanding. So they think about how Alexa can understand us better, how it can perform better, and do exactly what we ask. And right now, I don't know how many languages Alexa supports, but I think it's around 12 or even more. We can try to ask Alexa. So,
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, how many languages do you support?
Here's something I found on the web. According to p.sa, I can speak 3 languages.
Yeah, I touch it and it stops speaking. So she told us about 3 languages, but it's actually more. And this is the thing. So right now I talk with my Alexa, I ask something. And basically, because it's very important that Alexa do exactly what I've asked. That's why my particular team is work on quality metrics, because there are lots of Alexa customers. Oh, it's turned on the music. Yeah, make them mute. So it's actually very hard to have the daily meetings with Alexa teams. Then my house full of Alexa. When I speak Alexa word, they start to speak with me. So it's happened every time. So the quality metrics, because there are lots of customers and there are lots of domains in Alexa. For example, smart home, one of them. Example, if we will ask Alexa, make timer for 10 minutes, and Alexa will do something wrong for us, this is the bad thing. And Amazon Alexa trying to deep dives in the huge data sets and find the reason then it's actually doing the wrong things. And my job is to help to build those data products that help internal Amazon teams, like different domains teams, Amazon Video, Amazon Music, who have, for example, dashboards or other tools with front end that can slice and dice the data and find the root cause of the problem. So this deep dives and root cause is very important. And apart from this, we working, for example, on churn model for Alexa. So I work with the data scientists who building the model on the notebook using the Python. The challenge for data scientists, okay, with laptop, you can feed sample of the data, but you couldn't feed all data. That's why I'm the person who know how to handle big data. So I can take logic from data scientists and deploy it in Amazon Web Services to make it scalable. And starting from the batch, for example, running model once a week, we're moving towards running model near real time. And for this task, you need lots of computing. And using AWS as a cloud provider, so you basically have lots of computing power to do exactly what you need. And the good thing about the cloud, you pay only for what you use. So this was not very short story about my work, but yes, I have lots of devices, Alexa devices, different types of at home, and I'm using Amazon services. I have Amazon Prime, I have Amazon Video, Amazon Music. So far, so good. And especially right now, it's very good to know that Amazon is support a lot the people who is like during COVID-19, people sit at home, and Amazon, they build the whole infrastructure to deliver. So it has lots of robots on the warehouses who can automate lots of different things, and moving stuff around the warehouse and then deliver. I read the news that right now in States they're testing things about autonomous driving machines for deliver your packages without the driver. So with COVID-19, it's clear that the human is the weak in this chain of the things. So that's why Amazon invested lots of efforts into building these robots, autonomous things, machine learning, artificial intelligence. And for Amazon, it is not new topic. They did it for a long time. For example, Alexa is like 5 years old already. And Amazon Robotics, I don't know, it was a subsidiary that was acquired, I don't know how many years ago. So basically, it just tells us that everything what did Amazon, it was right. They're moving to the right direction. So yeah, if you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, so you're talking a lot about sort of that Amazon is a data company, and I'm interested in that because technically, I think most people think of data or of Amazon as a shipping company, as being sort of an e-commerce company. So obviously, there's a lot of pieces that are attached to that. But what is the benefit of having data scientists on the team and data engineers like yourself for the consumer who's using the platform just for, say, shipping to from somewhere to them?
For consumer who having, like, you mean the small business?
Yes and no. I mean, like, let's talk. So obviously, like, if a consumer right now, like the end consumer kind of uses Amazon for one thing, it's like they go on, they buy something, and it gets shipped to you, and it gets shipped really fast. Like, what's the benefit of knowing that there's a lot of data that's being sent to a data scientist? Why is that a beneficial thing that Amazon is taking advantage of that service?
Okay, if I've got the question right, what's the benefits for the company to having people like data scientists, data engineers?
Yeah.
Yes, and I think it's very correlated to the company size. For example, if you're a small company with less than 10 people, probably it's very expensive for you to have the dedicated resource for your data things. And you decide to, okay, I have Google Analytics, I have other services, I will dump data myself once a week and see what is happening there. But for the bigger company, where lots of money involvement, because everything costs money. And having analytics, it's basically you help either increase your revenue or decrease the cost. And not doing this, it's basically you can losing the money or you can losing the opportunity to get more money. So that's the one thing. Another thing, I think it's very important to talk about specialization, because many companies, they think, oh, we need some data person to do data work. And this is the wrong assumption, because you technically can find the person, for example, even myself, I can do the broad job roles like data scientist, data engineer, visualization engineer, or even part work of software developer engineers. But without specialization, without the focus, you can't really go deep into technology and the methodology and learn the best practices. For example, if I will start do data engineering, so I will start to bring data for building the model and building the features, then my model won't be really good. So it won't be very accurate. So we cut the cost to having one person doing two jobs, but my output will be worse than if we have two dedicated persons who can actually do exactly what they need to do. And especially yeah.
No, keep going.
Yeah, I think right now it's very critical for the companies, especially during those pandemic times, then the companies have problems, what's happening on the market. And many companies, they have the budgets. And the budgets, what they have, it's very simple. So they have spreadsheets. Let's forecast by the end of the year what will be our sales. And they have the spreadsheets. They they can do manually, or they can apply different different like simple techniques like build the trend lines or logistic regression or just linear regression to get the forecast. And the pandemic is crashed everything. All company forecasts by the end of the year, and all reports they have month over month, week over week, quarter over week. It's not working anymore. So most of the metrics and the data trends and basically stop working. It's like the tail, then the pumpkin converts into the tale about the girl who was doing dirty work, and then what's the name of
Cinderella.
this tale? The Cinderella, right? And it was midnight, and her vehicle converted back to the pumpkin. So this is right now happening with all machine learning models, all those forecasts and all those fancy things, auto email, all those things. It's converted back to the pumpkin because most of them were driven by historical data. And now you don't have historical data. And all the patterns, they change. So basically, you still have the data, and at the same time, you have lots of hypotheses. And you need to test those hypotheses with the data. So I think right now, for the business, in order to survive, you need quickly right decisions. And you need the person who can first extract the data and bring right data for you. And the second, find some patterns in the data, in the existing data, not in the historical data, but what was like last year. You need to understand what's happening right now. Maybe you can use some open data like COVID-19 data. So basically you need to integrate with open data sources, bring this data on site and starting to exploring what is happening there. Because if we look to software developers, what they're doing, they're building applications, and they're building application based on business requirements or product managers' feature requirements. And business requirements or product manager feature requirements, they're coming from the data. So the product manager, before actually ask SD to build something, will try to collect as much data as possible to decide what feature we should use and why. So that's why, again, like you need the data. That's why I work close in Alexa with product managers a lot, because they tell me what features we should implement right now and why, and what is my priorities. Should we add some small features, or we should build completely new thing? So this is like story about the data behind this, because all those job roles, they're really tied together. But I'm talking about just specialization, that everyone should doing their job. And Amazon has lots of resources in terms of different teams, different roles. That's why I believe it's part of success, because everyone doing their job and doing it well, because they have time and resources to learn new skills that they should use for this role. Also, there is huge Amazon internal community. For example, engineering excellence, they train you how to write the code. There's like Amazon writing workshops, or like customer obsession, working backwards, all those things. The different frameworks inside Amazon, they're helping develop the right skills to address all those issues.
So you were already working remote before this whole COVID-19 thing happened. So, I mean, you've obviously seen what's happened to the world of remote work and being a data engineer prior to this and now. And what's the biggest difference that you're seeing? Is it now that everything has just sort of been sped up? So it's now the process of making some of these changes that are needed in order for data engineering to really be seen as beneficial is happening a lot faster, or is there something else that's really changed in sort of the transition from remote work prior to COVID-19 and remote work now?
I think for me, because I don't feel lots of changes for me, and I think this is because we're on the island. So, and I live in suburb on the island and in Langford, and it means like I don't feel hardly what's happening around. So I used to work from home. I continue to work from home. The drawback for me, it's I have 3 kids. They all together at home. So often it's very loud. And usually they used to spend their energy in the morning, half of the day at school. They're coming back to home, and then we have some different sports activity for the kids, going to downtown. And now they basically burn their energy at home. And it's very often very loud. And this is just hard to maintain day to day. This is the one change. But all my team, because all my team, they worked in Boston, they experience lots of problems with this because, first of all, works between Canada and States is different because here in Canada, if you have small child and you just baby birth, I think you can stay at home for like 6 months at least, but in States, it's only 2 months. And I see that all my colleagues, they both parents working, and they have like 2 months child in daycare. But because of COVID-19, daycare closed. You need to take care for the child, like very young one, even if it's like 3, 4, 5 years old, and 2 working parents, and they don't have really permissions like not working. So it's hard for them because in my case, my wife, she doesn't work, so she can take care for the kids. And it's even in this situation, it's hard. But if you have 2 working parents and you should work at home with kids, so it's very, very difficult. And I see that, yes, they couldn't be very, very productive because of this. And hopefully these all things finish soon. And also, I think on the good news that because Amazon built the whole infrastructure for remote work. So we have VPNs, we have remote access. And what we see right now that the overall performance of the Amazon doesn't change a lot for those people who works in corporate offices because they have remote access, we have Chime, we have video conferencing. So it's pretty efficient and people went through this pretty fast. They learn new skills, they optimize their workspace, and all of these help us to go through this. And maybe in the future, there will be more flexibility for people, not only in Amazon, but in the whole world, more flexibility for work from home. Because what's the point to come to the office every day if you can deliver the same amount work working remotely? And personally, I find this beneficial because, but for me, it doesn't matter where I'm in the office or at home, I can deliver the same things. And having the video conferencing is good, so we can discuss all things we need. We can do it one-on-one or like all together. So it definitely will change. Industry will change, and I think it will change for the better. It's either you die or get better. So I think that all things they get better.
So awesome. So in terms of as a data scientist, I'm always interested. One of the things we're trying to do on these Q&A corners is kind of give some folks some direction of like things that they can do if they want to explore a certain area. So you're a data engineer. What are the kind of platforms and tools you're using to do your work? So obviously for data scientists, there's a lot of things like Jupyter notebooks are obviously a big thing in data science. But what kind of tools are you using in your day-to-day work?
I use lots of AWS tools, Amazon Web Services. I think even one step back, for any person, especially in early stage, then like going to university, thinking about career, they should very clear understand what career paths exist right now. Yeah, some of them is software developer, data scientist, the most popular. This could be like product manager, there could be data engineer, there could be machine learning engineer. So the people, they should understand what career path exists for them. And then they can, okay, if it's software developer, what types of the jobs there, what technology they use to work, and how they contribute to the business. The same for data science, same for data engineer. For data engineer, it's very correlated with the traditional jobs like building data warehouse or business intelligence applications. But apart from this, you should leverage the wide set of tools and technologies that help you to move data, like building data pipelines, because there are different requirements. Do you have the stream, or you have the batch? Do you want to deliver data in near real time, or you can do it once a week? What's the structure of data? Because there is data warehouse as a database, and for example, Amazon Redshift, or could be Hadoop-based technology, Elastic MapReduce. So it's like the big data technology. There are lots of resources that I'm using related to the Spark, and the Spark is like in-memory big data computing, and it's very popular among data scientists. So you can see there's like overlap between data science and data engineering for using Spark. And I'm using Spark for mostly data transformations, data processing, and data science can using Spark ML to build the data science model. But anyway, they need to prepare the data. There is another set of tools and technologies that's related to software developer engineers. So I need to understand how the networking works, because then I want to bring data from one systems or integrate different systems. I need to understand how like networking works, what's about firewall, and all those systems engineering works should be done to basically get data securely. And secure in Amazon and most of the camps right now with all those SaaS technologies that you can give your customer data. So it's very important to security things. For example, my recent project in Amazon was write documentation about application that we use for data integrations. And I need to go through like security certification. It will require like architecture diagram, data flow, what's entry points, what's the assets, how we control authorization, permission, all those security things. That first you think, I don't need all those things, it's very boring, I just want to work on data. But as a result, like 50% of my work, and even I feel when I grow in Amazon, I need to less build stuff, but more spend time on those like architecture review, how we want to process red data, because in Alexa, we have lots of things related to the red data. By red data, I mean the customer data. And because Amazon takes this very seriously, data handling policy, and because Alexa works with the red data, customer data, so you should be very careful what data you can use for your analytics works and how you can use this. That's why basically I spent lots of, probably last month, I just spent on the writing. So that's why I think the writing, especially in Amazon, this is the skill is equally important as understanding what I'm doing in terms of like writing the code, writing the SQL, just writing the documents, like the doc, for example, design review. So if I want to do anything, I need to write the design review, then call the meeting with software developer engineers, explain them what I'm doing, and not about what I'm doing in terms of data transformation, but I mean, where data coming from, what's the data handling policy, what kind of data, is this secure enough, how we authorize, do we use any internal Amazon technology, any external technology, what risks involved, and all those things. And it takes time. And this is just the highest standards for working in Amazon. And on one side, it can be frustrating for you that you want to build stuff, you want to write the code, and you're writing the documents. But on the other hand, you feel that you produce really high quality work. Because if you went through all those writing exercises, all those reviews and meetings with the software engineers, ask all their questions, basically you mitigate most of the risk and you can be proud for work you do. It's not just crappy MVP product, it's actual production product. And this is applicable for all roles in Amazon if we're working with data, write any applications, data science, SD, data engineers, or BIE.
Yeah, so it's just like that idea of doing the front end work in a really big way, putting as much love and effort into the planning as you do into the actual creation. Because if you put that in, then you're going to end up with a way higher quality product.
Yes. And this,
So
this is the thing about the writing, because probably you heard Amazon doesn't use the PowerPoint. And then I used to work in Amazon subsidiary. They still use PowerPoint, but then I joined Alexa. I never saw any PowerPoint slides for my 2 years of work. Like, I didn't see any PowerPoint. People not using PowerPoint, and they're writing the document. So, for example, my example from my recent experience. So I wanted to build a new data platform for these Alexa analytics things, and it was very simple to have the 10 slides of presentation, explain what I want. Instead, I spent 3 weeks to writing PR FAQ document. And PR FAQ document is press release. So for example, I can say, hey, Seattle, June 2020, Alexa team released new data platform that will do this. Anders, who's data science, very exciting about this. In his own words, he will tell that this is great things. I couldn't do anything like this before, and blah, blah, blah. So this is the press release. And this is very good. So basically, you're writing the press release with the expectations from the end product in very this customer-friendly manner. And then I have FAQ session that actually took 3 weeks to write. So basically, I need to answer all questions. What is the risk? How long it takes? What's the cost? What's the tools and technology we use? Why they use this? Why not other approach? And all those things. And then I have review with all managers, senior managers of my FAQ doc, and we have 2 free review. If I get feedback and writing again, redo this document, then everyone happy. I've got the budget to building this platform, but then I start to build this platform. I need to do another type of the writing, all those security certification, review, and so on to make it secure and high standards.
So we try and keep these sessions short, but I have one more question for you before we finish things off. So if there's obviously so we got a viewer on the call that I know is new and is sort of doing development. And for anybody else who's going to catch this once we upload it on our YouTube channel, if you had sort of one piece of advice for somebody, and I know you've already given a few nuggets, but if you had one piece of advice for a new software developer who's in high school, they're looking at university and what they want to do, what would be your biggest piece of advice for somebody new that's getting into the technology industry?
I think they should clearly understand what they're going to do in 5 years. So because yes, you join university because there is no any university programs from year one, for example, data science or machine learning. There is computer science, like information technology. So you can join this, but you should start thinking about your specialization. You should not follow only your computer science fundamentals and learning all subjects that you have in your schedule, but you actually need to start getting something outside. You need to read the books, you need to read the articles and blogs and maybe the video and learning something here. My advice to everyone, I always talk, okay, probably you want to go for internship in Amazon because it's the good start for career. And University of Victoria, it has career fair from Amazon, and they hired across the Canada from University of Victoria. The good thing to get higher chances to this, if you're now year one and you think after year 3, you want to join Amazon as an intern, and it means that after university you can join Amazon as an engineer because you did this already internship with them. So you need to think ahead. What skills I need to successfully join Amazon as an intern? And one of them, of course, is computer science, programming. But what else? What skills I can get to be ahead of others people's? For example, AWS technology. It's clear that Amazon deploy all their applications using Amazon Web Services. So why not to get the free resources or maybe even pay for the video trainings from AWS why not to pass exam, at least like very entry level AWS cloud practitioner? Why not to pass this exam? Why not to build your demo application on AWS and show recruiters? So all those small things, they will really help you to leverage what you learn and sell this to Amazon recruiter.
Absolutely. That's amazing. And I'm actually just going to, let me just pull up let me see if I can get into there. So I'm just going to turn my camera around. So thank you so much, Dmitry. That's amazing. If you're looking to connect with Dmitry, I'm just going to sort of show his profile here. So here's Dmitry's LinkedIn profile. So if you're looking at getting connected with Dmitry, you can check him out on linkedin.com/in/Dmitry Anoshin. And you can find out a little bit more about Dmitry over there. If you're just tuning in, this has been Q&A Corner, part of the HighTechU Tech Bytes series. We're going to be uploading this stream to YouTube, so check it out over on YouTube. Dmitry, thank you so much for being our guest on the stream. I'm super, super excited to be able to feature you and have an amazing, amazing rest of your day and weekend.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. And we should plan something for presentation. We just should define the topic.
Absolutely.
And then just let's do this. Yeah, have a good weekend too. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, so if you are just tuning in, we have just finished up our live stream of Tech Bytes Q&A Corner. I'm Andrew. This has been Tech Bytes Q&A Corner. We're just going to throw in some music, and if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the stream now, and we'll see if we can answer them for you a little bit later on.